All right, let's just dive right in. Quick note on the gameplay. It's just, I believe, a 57-6 on, obviously, Nuketown. It was decent. Not my best game. It was okay. I would have liked to have a little bit less deaths, but it's all good. That's just for the background. You obviously clicked on this video mainly for the title. I don't want to waste any time. Let's just dive right in. But really quickly, I do generally want to say there's no bullshit. It's not clickbait. I want to give you everything. And really just advice. This is mainly a channel for me to talk about a little bit about stories, but more so give you nuggets and give you information that you can use and apply to your daily life from someone who has had mild success financially and in business, who had, hopefully like you, a COD obsession as a kid. I was obsessed with these games. I still play them to this day for no other reason than they're incredible. And that's it. That's why we're making these videos. So let's just dive right in. Before I get into the real kind of meat, if you will, I want to backtrack. I want to talk about what actually got me into gaming in the first place. And that was, from what I understand, from what I remember, about 5 years old. And it all started with my dad. My dad was actually into building supercomputers. So he was into this, for work and a career and whatnot. So he was always able to run the best games, obviously, with his personal PC. So I really started there. I started, think Quake, think Half-Life, the original Call of Duties. I was watching these in real time being like, this is kind of cool. Like, keep in mind, I'm 26 now. This is early 2000s, and me being sitting there and being like, holy shit, this is like interesting. Never seen a video game before was really cool. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're listening to this. Then fast forward a couple of years, he comes home from a business trip one day with a GameCube and a couple games. Now this is, I'm still really young at this point. Not allowed to play Call of Duty, but I don't even think the good CODs were out at this point. And nonetheless, that sparked the obsession of like, okay, like video games are really cool. This is awesome. It was like Godzilla and WrestleMania and like a couple racing games or something. But nonetheless, it started it. And then again, fast forward a couple of years, I had played World at War, I had played COD 4, but I came home from school one day and I see Modern Warfare 2 on his desk and uploaded on his computer because that's what he played on. And I was like, oh shit, this must be the new COD. I wasn't keeping up with COD news at this point, keep in mind. So I'm like, oh, this must be the new COD. This is sweet. And I started playing it, and immediately the obsession was clicked from there. This is me in grade 6, keep in mind. So I was like 11, 12. It started everything. From there, I was playing, I shit you not, probably 5 to 6 hours a day on weekdays, missing school, missing homework, the whole nine, 6 to 10 hours a day on weekends. Like, I was literally obsessed, and I only started getting good. This is why I love Black Ops 1 so much, because this was the first COD that I actually started getting good at. I was like genuinely above average KD, better than most of my friends, that kind of thing. But it just was like an obsession that started everything, right? So this is where the first point is. I'm going to list them off in points of the literal, what I use to this day in my businesses, and again, the mild success that I've had financially. I want to give you those so you can apply this if you're running your own business, or you eventually want to at some point, or you just want to do really well in your corporate job or career and whatnot, right? I want to give you pieces of advice. And that first thing for me that transferred over from COD to the companies that I run today is just raw competitiveness, right? I was like the first to prestige. I was the first to rank up all my classes, all this kind of shit in Call of Duty. Like I purposely made it my mission to do that. Not because I was, wanting to beat out my friends, but at the same time I kind of was, right? Like I was like, fuck, I want to be number one. Like I want to be the guy who people either come to questions with or they look up to and be like, holy shit, man, this kid is like not giving up at all. Like we may as well just either, work with him or kind of, do the opposite. And that's, again, what really started it. So it was just everything, right? I'd play until my eyes were red and felt like bleeding. I'd play until my thumbs and hands were cramping. Like it's that kind of level that it probably wasn't, I know it wasn't healthy, but it didn't faze me because that's how bad I wanted to win. And I'm convinced that at some point it wasn't even about being fun. Let me know in the comments if this was you as well, but it wasn't even about being fun. It was simply about being just like literally the fucking best. And I take those exact same principles to my business today, right? So for context, I'm running a marketing agency. We do lead gen for a couple different verticals and industries. And I do this on a daily basis. It's like, how do we get the best customer retention so we don't lose revenue on a monthly basis? How do we get the cheapest cost per lead? How do we get the best customer experience? How do we get, best team morale and culture? The list continues to go on, right? When that fire is lit, I do my best work, right? When I have competitors that are, trying to beat us out, when I have, just myself looking in the mirror being like, okay, if we made this much today, how much can we make tomorrow? How much can we make next month? That kind of thing. I'm literally taking those same principles and just applying it to real life and making a crap ton of money because of it. And it's literally made me millions. It has made me just under 2 million to date of just taking these strategies over the last 3 years, right? So that is point number one. Point number two that I think is arguably just important is you have to put in the reps and do the extremely boring work, right? I obviously didn't start off very good. I didn't start off reaching the highest level. I had to work for weeks, sometimes even, months to find the best class and gun setups or the best way to navigate the maps or the spawn points, et cetera, right? This took a long damn time to quote unquote perfect, if you will, if you can even call it that. It's the same principle in business though, right? You have to find what works best, but that takes what most people are not willing to put in, and that's time, right? So for example, in a marketing world, for those who understand this, I had to do all the client fulfillment myself. I handled all the customer billings and accounting questions. I managed all the customers' emotions and all their experiences. I did all of the work up front myself for like 3 to 6 months before I even started being able to afford employees and the team that I have now, right? The list goes on and on again. Too many people look for the quick hit. And the short-term game is honestly only going to get you short-term results every single time. Learn to take shortcuts if you need to in clear ways that will like obviously get you there by paying, say, consultants, for example, but you still need to put in your time and the results will eventually come. And number 3, real quick, was speed. I acted very quickly on raising ranks in the game once I knew I had the upper edge or once I knew what classes worked best. It's the exact same principle, right? Different vehicle. It's money in business today, real time, they love speed, right? In my business, I act extremely quick. I split test things. I experiment. I set firm deadlines. All of the above. If it doesn't work, I cut it, move on, no emotion, zero attachment, right? Doing that is way better than doing the same shit, throwing the same shit at the same wall and hoping it sticks, right? You have to do different things to get different results and change what's working, be agile and whatnot. Again, same principles, different vehicle. It's made me millions. And again, I can go into way more detail across different topics like this and future videos, but I really just wanted to get this across and again, talk more about life advice. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know, and lots more coming soon.